It's you, the person who makes a simple and shallow world so your players are uninterested in playing it. Guards, simplify him! But howdy howdy, it's the dreadful DM or just Jordan, and today I want to talk to you guys about world building, everything that I use in my games that you could possibly apply to yours, everything from the macro sense, from nations colliding to giant universal things that shift and alter the state of your campaign to the very micro things. And no, I'm not talking about your pee. And if all that sounds interesting to you, then tag along, hear me yap for a little bit, and let's just have a good time. If you would kindly leave us a like and subscribe, that would make me feel a lot better about myself and it'll help out the channel. But let's just hop right into it. So you want to be a world builder, huh? Well, let me talk to you guys a little bit about that because it's a very difficult thing to get down, because world building is often much more of the nuances, the flavor in the campaign is not just the setting. I want to say that very clear and early. Just laying down the setting in which your campaign takes place is not world building. You're just giving the environment that your players can go mess around and ruin all your plans, okay? That is not world building, just the setting. But it's the foundations where you can build upon it. You can make this place like, oh yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic world. And everyone's like, okay, cool. But what does that mean? How do people survive? What do people use to trade? Everything like that. World building is like the bottle caps and Fallout. Yeah, of course, yeah, the whole place got nuked into oblivion, but they want to talk about like, oh, how they could just say, oh yeah, they use cash. No, they use bottle caps because that is one thing that can't be like reproduced easily or is very scarce. So it has a natural sense of value that people apply to it and everything like that. Stuff like that. It's stuff that, you know, you would maybe think for a second, it's like, oh, wait, in this post-apocalyptic world, you know, where everyone decided to nuke each other with these giant mech robots, this giant robots are littered all around the place. People will make satellite like civilizations there within it, towns, cities, like once again using Nuketown, not you. Nuketown, Fallout using a megaton. Sorry about that. Everything I collided at one time. Worlds collide. Sorry. But yes, it's megaton from Fallout. Sorry. Let's just keep on moving on. Stop bringing up the past. You're so toxic. But no, it's that. It's how people live in the world that you've created, the setting that you've presented the people, from the lore and everything that can build up to have places like a megaton, like the glowing sea. Keep using Fallout, but it's a great example because so many people have played it, okay? So it's stuff like that. It's simply living world that you are presenting your players. Like, hey, stuff has happened. People simply have to exist it, whether it be post-apocalyptic, neo-noir, different ways that influence the world and the setting that don't necessarily have to impact the campaign. And that's what I talk about next. Not every aspect of world building has to necessarily infect the lore and change the way you play the game. Things can just be, okay? It's fine that not everything you bring up has to be in your campaign for a specific reason because that poop farted shitter 69 killed your dad. So that's like, no, it's like some things can just be people in this world. If you truly want to build a living, breathing society in your world, not getting too deep into it, but you just want to have more flavor in it, not everything has to be exactly brought up for good reason. It could be just because it's funny or it's a throwaway line that people are really interested in, just because you're like, oh, there's this mysterious, you know, thieving guild over there or whatever, because, you know, of course every fantasy world has a thieving guild because we're all original. But yes, sorry, like a thieving guild or artisan guild or whatever, so many different aspects that show that, hey, there's people with different professions around here, people who live different lives, and maybe you players do think about that. It's like, oh wait, I need kind of some information. The thieving guild's a good place. Let's go there. That's a simple way. It's something you left in the past, some aspect of world building that can help you in the future. So it's not like you're bringing up something out of randomly because your players are like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, there's a thieving guild here. It's not like Deus Ex Machina, haha, let's go and continue the railroad. No, it's something that you implant earlier so your players think they're smart, but in reality, you already planned 10 steps ahead. Okay, now that you're done thinking 10 steps ahead of your players, that's more in the macro sense. These large, overarching things about throughout the campaign that set up the world and how it's lived in. Of course, that's all great, that's wonderful, but sometimes these giant things are not always going to be so prevalent because yes, not everyone's going to care about what the country of Cambodia is doing right now because I live in like South Arkansas or something, or Kansas, however those idiots say it over there, but So I'm not sure why I was mean there. Apologies. But exactly, that's not okay. How does it work more in the micro sense? More the more nuanced, more the smaller things that happen from region to region, the different dialects, music, stuff like that. How do people talk to each other? Or people have more of that southern hospitality or more of that angry, like New Yorker vibe? Stuff like that. Things that people will interact with on the more micro sense that happen on day-to-day things that people can tangibly see throughout maybe every single session in a campaign, stuff like that. There's different things like I mentioned, like the music that is being played, or the way that people talk to each other, the accents, the way they relate to or refer to things, the different type of people they tend to align themselves with, stuff like that. If you have every single person in your campaign basically just a cookie cutter, I'm the blacksmith, I'm the shopkeep, I'm this, I'm that, I have no general means, I watch TikTok for 12 hours, then that's gonna be a shitty campaign, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. People are gonna have different thoughts. You're gonna have that weird uncle who posts too much about on Facebook about these damn liberals and how he wants to touch them all over the dang TV. Okay, sorry. Got a little, just a little lost in the sauce there. This is the point in the episode. This is the point in the video where everything starts breaking down just a little bit because I have a little too much of my goof juice, aka Dr. Pepper, zero sugar, not sponsored. Please, that'd be wonderful. I need the money. But that's the thing. The smaller things that happen within those day-to-day happenings, okay, the session-to-session happenings that people will notice more. When you have more diverse dialects or interactions, depending on when you're at, that's going to have more little interesting aspects of like, oh wow, this is a lived-in place. The shopkeep is going to live a very different life from the blacksmith. The blacksmith's going to be this hardened guy that you can tell that has calluses all over his fingers from the amount of times he's, just burnt himself on like a iron hot, just red hot, anvil, stuff like that. The shopkeeper is maybe a little more snobbish, who's a little more very about his old Excel sheets and spreadsheets and stuff like that. Little aspects of world building like, oh, these two people are very different and you need to approach them differently. Smaller things like that and how they would interact in world, how they would interact with your players. That's little aspects of world building too. Because if you just have everyone be insert X type of shopkeep, X blacksmith or whatever, doesn't care about the region, doesn't care about how you got to this place, then there's less flavor. The other thing about world building is flavor. That's the best thing. Of course you don't need world building. Of course you don't need to add all these different aspects to have a good campaign. Not at all. But it just adds more depth into your pool. You're not living in a little kiddie pool where you actually pass out face down, you someone still drown. No, you're in a big boy pool where you piss in and nobody can blame you. So those are the more main aspects of world building that DMs use to implement into the campaign. So it kind of gives it that flavor, gives us that nuance, gives us the way the world lives, the way it breathes, the way people interact with it, the way they live in it. But world building is not 100% static thing. It can change, it can flow. It most likely gets morphed and sometimes, I guess, damned by the players, because as D&D players, we often make things 100 times worse before we make anything better. We tend to blow up City Hall by accident. We crack so many eggs that we don't have enough pans to make the omelets. It was like, well, that's just the way it goes. And it ultimately changes fundamental aspects of your campaign. Is like, well, I guess that's the way. They blew up the dam, so I guess this entire region is now flooded and has blocked off to you guys. Good job, folks. And as well, okay, because of that, people are displaced, some more crimes over here, and that can change the way the world is lived in and breathed in. Those different aspects, the way the players interact with it, the way they tend to get the grubby little mitts on something that you don't really want them to, but they roll in that 20, so you're forced to let them do it. But it's aspects like that, it's ways that the players are introduced into this world so they can live in it, they can breathe in it, and damn it, they don't like oxygen, so they burn the whole place down. Stuff like that. It's simply letting your players run around the world and let them change, let them mess up, let them suffer the consequences of their actions, and let them just have fun. That's how the world can continue to expand and build. It's not just you're not the author, you're simply a storyteller, and things can change because you have these players in your game that are gonna mess things up. They're gonna sometimes do good, but most of the time just absolutely just ruin all your plans and make you want to cry most days, if not most. My players make fun of me. It's stuff like that. It's stuff where you can just let your players mess and change things up. That's gonna happen, and that's the best way because once again, collaborative storytelling. You guys make the story together. You tell the story how it's gonna ultimately come out and see what happens. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really good. You just gotta have a good time. Add flavor where they can. Give pockets and places where your players can interact with and expand it even further. Just play the game not competitively, but cooperatively. But make sure that your players they know that that you're God. But yeah, I'm just going to end it there before I go too far another tangent. So that's world building and my, I guess, point of view, my perception on it. If you have a different opposing views on it, if you have different suggestions of ways stuff you build out your world, please leave it in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, please. Once again, it helps out the channel. Please, so very much. Thank you. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I think I'm fine tuning my style. I think I'm getting there. I feel like I've finally hit a nice little stride these past like 2-3 weeks. I feel like I've been really posting some fun stuff, so I've been really happy and excited for that. Shout out to Assassin for making the thumbnails so much better than me than I could like ever hope to be when it comes to literally all of that stuff. So that's really fun. Thank you, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a good day. Go out for a walk. It's good for yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See ya.